Elizabeth. I'm so excited about this. It's the Ask Beck and Liz show, let's call it. So think of it as a Dear Abby or a Dear Ann Landers. Throw us your questions, anything related to the world of franchising, franchisee, franchisor, relationship business building questions that you might have. So these are questions, send them to us, and Elizabeth and I will review them and then share them in our upcoming Ask Beck and Liz show. So Elizabeth, what is our question today?
The question today is, why in the world would we create a podcast called Where Passion and Purpose Collide Now? How did we come upon each other? And what do we plan to do with it? What in the world are we thinking is our question for the very first episode.
So obviously, there's a lot of reasons that I was particularly excited about this. I believe that this space of women in franchising has unlimited potential. I've been in the franchise space 27 years, and when I first started, I would go to the IFA conferences, and I was one of just a handful of women. Today, we're at about 30% women that are in franchising, and that's growing. So I still believe it's an underserved population, and that women are unique and have certain attributes that can truly be tapped into and will empower franchising. So for me, that was the excitement of it all. And then also, I was attracted to what you were up to with the franchise woman, and that we are so uniquely different. We think different, right? I'm older, you're younger, you're married, you have children, I'm single, and my children are grown. You have stronger liberal leanings. I have stronger conservative leanings. You have a strong background in marketing and publishing and journalism and all of that, and I have this background. So part of me goes, two heads are better than one, and we can definitely share our individual perspectives, which oftentimes will obviously be different, but with always the same purpose in mind, which is to bring passion and purpose and profit and people together. So what was your drive behind it?
Well, when my husband bought his franchise, I was looking for a project, and the franchise woman sort of evolved. But I think that having a conversation that people can participate in, and highlighting women in print is one thing, but highlighting women through conversation is different. And then meeting you, and I'm a big advocate in my community for human rights and social issues and those sorts of things, and have personal investments in those things. And I think that you and I have a commonality, thinking that conversation makes things better, and that being able to hear another point of view is something that's missing from our communities right now. And I think that it's scary. It's a scary world for our kids. It's a scary world for grandkids. When people are given permission to be ugly and to not listen to other perspectives. And for me, storytelling is a way that I try to help people have a different understanding of humanity, of potential, of what other people might be going through, whether it's in their professional lives or personal lives. So being able to combine all of those things in franchising with you in a world that we both, I'm newer to it, you're much more experienced in the franchise world. I think that also gives us a little bit of a different perspective. I might have questions from an outsider point of view, so to speak. You have the experience and knowledge of a history of being a woman in a mostly male-dominated industry, and until more recently it's becoming more equitable. But having all of that dichotomy, I think, between us, but also having the synergy of wanting to communicate positive, good things and good stories and inspire women, but also men, and empower women, but also men. It's not to eliminate the men conversation, it's to help them understand the importance of women in their industries and listening to them and participation from all groups of people. So I think for me, it's just such a great relationship that you and I have developed to be able to bring these out into the world.
You know, such a great point, Elizabeth, because I think it all starts with a conversation,
Mm-hmm.
right? An open, honest, authentic conversation. You coming from your world and your beliefs and your successes and your view, and
Mm-hmm.
me, similar, having an open dialogue, being open to being asked anything, and then we provide
Mm-hmm.
our view, neither right nor wrong, just different, but it's a space that we're holding open for one another and for our audience, men and women, to say, let's talk to one another. Let's get to know one another. Let's understand one another. And I agree with you. I think from that, who knows what can happen when we at least see each other's perspective.
I agree, and see each other's humanities and hopes and dreams and failures and fears and those sorts of things. And I think that both of us have in common that the way that we try to communicate is in a way that someone who may not agree with us can receive it.
Right.
Which means it's not attacking or critical. It might be questioning, like, please help me understand why you feel that way or what your experience has been. But it's not that asking the question is not a criticism. It's a vehicle to understanding.
Right.
So I'm so excited that we have found each other and that we've both been on the same page with the goals for what we want to talk about. And I hope so much that people ask us questions that challenge us.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's where the barriers come down, and that's where learning begins.
Right.
When you're challenged with maybe something that either you haven't thought of, you disagree with historically, or you just don't know. Because if I don't know, I'm happy to say I have no idea. I'll defer to Rebecca.
as am I, always open to learning. You know, knowledge and learning is one of my highest values. Well, that, folks, is what we're all about at the Ask Beck and Liz show.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for joining us today, where passion and purpose collide, profits are made, and relationships are forged. This is Beck and Liz signing off and wishing you another purpose-filled and profitable week.